What you do is really important. Hi, I'm Brita for The Happier Attorney, the channel where we talk to attorneys about mindset, about flat fees. And today I want to take just a minute to remind you of how important it is that we do what we do. I know that I forget, and when I talk to my attorney clients, they really minimize the importance of what they do. We get used to it. And I'm not talking about the elitist thinking of what we do as an attorney. I remember the first day of law school, some professor said, "You're the elite." Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about really taking 2 seconds and absorbing and remembering that what we do actually impacts people's lives. What we do is really important. So just this last week in my own practice, we had a client that got to start establishing a relationship with his infant child. He had been denied. He'd only seen his child one time at birth. And if you know anything about infant development, not having contact with one of the parents for 3 months, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And it was breaking his heart. We got that fixed. And we got it fixed as soon as possible. That's a big deal. That made a huge difference in his life, in his baby's life, even when the baby doesn't know about it. Okay? We had another case where we had a client that had come in to get her estate plan done, and she died 2 weeks after we got it done. Now, her family was still really hurt, but our client died knowing that she had taken care of her people. I don't know what else you could want, quite frankly. And her family, although they were still hurting, they didn't have a mess to clean up on top of hurting. We do good work. And, regardless of your practice area, let's say, criminal defense attorneys, and man alive, they get some flack. The public doesn't understand. A lot of attorneys don't understand. Criminal defense attorneys, my goodness, what you do. When you are protecting everybody's rights, when you are not discriminating against who gets their rights protected and who doesn't, you protect everybody. So yeah, protecting that person's constitutional rights, it's critical. It's absolutely critical to this society, this country. Let's say you're, a trademark attorney and you're like, oh, I just do trademarks. Because I've literally heard that, okay? That's not what you're doing. People come to you who have created something, sometimes created it out of thin freaking air. They did that. And you're protecting that. Because who wants to create something for someone just to come and steal it? That's going to stop people creating real quick. And we need creatives. Not just in this country, and we're a pretty creative country. But the world needs creatives. There's nothing better than creating something. Quite frankly, as someone who likes to create, that might sound, it's great when you create something out of thin air. Whether it's a painting or a business or an invention, that's amazing. We need those people and we need to protect them. You do that. It's not just shuffling papers. Let's say you're a business attorney, transaction attorney. Again, you're not shuffling papers. As I have a friend who calls it paper monkeys. Okay, you're not. You're not. You're actually helping that business make money so they can pay their employees, so their employees can put food on the table and buy their kid a bike Christmas or, whatever. Think down the chain. What impact you're actually making, okay? Regardless of your practice area. And then think about overall what we do. I don't care what country you're in, and we have in the Happier Attorney group, we have attorneys from all over the world. We are the first defense, and we are the last safety net for any democracy. And while the United States of America certainly has its problems, the Constitution isn't perfect, find me something better. It's pretty cool. And history has tested democracy, and it will continue. There's always going to be somebody. There's always going to be a group of somebodies who want to push it. We are vital. We are vital for helping people settle disputes. If it wasn't for us helping people settle disputes, then we have anarchy. Then we have the wild, wild west, where it's just whoever has the bigger gun wins. That's a pretty scary world to live in. And you can argue, the Constitution, in reality, it's a piece of paper. What makes it powerful, what makes it so amazing, is when people are willing to stand up for it and protect it. That's us. We are a vital part of that system. And so I want you to just take a minute and remember that. And I know that attorneys get a bad rap. I'm not going to go into, why. I mean, yeah, there are some greedy and immoral attorneys. It doesn't matter what profession you're in or what group you're in. There's always going to be those. The vast majority of us, the overwhelming majority of us, are pretty honest, pretty ethical, pretty moral, try and do the right thing by our people, try and do the right thing, period. And no, we're not paid a quarter of what we should be. And when we start to remember what we actually do and that we are the buffer, we are a huge buffer between people in violence, people in anarchy. We are the defenders of the Constitution. And until something better exists, we better protect it. So I invite you to pause for 1 minute and really consider and remind yourself of what impact you're actually making. What impact you're actually making in the world. Be specific. Go down the chain if you need to. Because if you weren't making a positive impact in the world, you probably wouldn't be having a job, okay? If you bring it down, you're impacting someone who maybe then they're impacting someone and they're impacting someone. The butterfly effect. So maybe you can't, there is a direct causal link, okay? So remember that and be proud. Let people make fun. Let people have their attorney jokes. Let people on TV attack the lawyers for doing their job. Let it. That is none, what people think about you is none of your business. Don't worry about that. You know what you're doing. You know the truth. Let them talk. And put your head down and keep doing your work. And above all, in my opinion, remember our duty at the end of the day is, at least where I was sworn in, to the Constitution of the United States. period. Just a reminder of what we do is really important. Just a little mindset shift. And then see how you show up a little bit differently. If we're not going to advocate for ourselves, if we're not going to be proud of ourselves, ain't nobody else going to. And remember, I have a little, I don't even know where it is, a little cross stitch picture that I made. It says, do epic shit. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be huge. The little things can be epic. So go do epic shit. Take care, y'all.